I mean, as we all know by now, Alex Rosen and Jidion will no longer be associated from now on. But I just kind of find it funny how this is supposed to be a big deal when we all knew what type of person Alex Rosen was. And he was proud of it, too. Dude wore that ignorance like a badge of honor, not liking people for the color of their skin. In almost their 2030s, we're in 2026. Imagine being so outdated, like to the point where you'll need like a patch update or something. It's honestly kind of incredible how people can still be that way. And the dude's not even 30. I mean, of course he looks like he's 130, but he's not even 30. He was born 1999. Dude's 26, 27, and is this way. The bigoted people who don't like people because of the way their skin was when, I don't think they're smart enough to know that, hey, probably they didn't choose to be black or Latin or, Asian or whatever. And I just find it kind of fascinating how stupid and moronic people can really be with their ignorance, because, I've seen countless times to where, my Asian friends have been told to go to countries that they weren't even born in. So how could you go back to a country like, for example, I had a Korean friend and a white boy from Texas who was, didn't like people that didn't look like him. So he said, why don't you go back to Korea? And my Korean friend said, well, I've never been to Korea, so how the hell can I go back there? I was born in Georgia. White boy had nothing to say. And this happened in middle school. So to see how we're approaching 2030 and we still got people this way, I just think that sometimes we just got to eliminate the bottom 5 of the human population. The world would be a better place, well, not as much as it should, but probably, a bit better, a little bit less ignorant, just, I don't know, man. I just think that people like that are just low IQ. And it's gotten to the point to where Alex Rosen is not only supporting Chud the Builder, but the man said,
Serious Pro, if you all saw that live stream, write a statement to his lawyer and come testify against this shit. Like, do this lawfully, but man, come on, guys. That person should not have any fucking victory party, bro. I will literally prioritize fucking this shit over even catching the pedos, because that shit just pissed me off, man.
That he would rather support Chud the Builder rather than protect children from predators, which kind of, it's just kind of already set in stone his intentions, already with this whole pred catching operation thing. It's yeah, like, I don't think there's really, I mean, of course there's coming back from it because people still support him and his fried pickles and they'll respect the hell out of that. But I don't know, I just find it strange that people will still be able to look past that, even though that he said that something that he portrayed to be something genuine, something that, is his purpose, something that he wanted to do. He'll put that on the back burner for someone who's cosplaying as someone who doesn't like black people. Because Chud the Builder, his whole thing about, being edgy and bothering black people in public on stream and doing all this stuff. Dude wasn't even like this before he got a taste of the clout. He started, antagonizing black people on his streams, macing them, threatening to, blast them with the firearm, all that stuff. As a way to rebrand his image, because before there was a Chud the Builder, he was wearing dresses on the internet being pegged violently, aggressively. And then he was like, hey, might as well be a racist. That's what he rebranded as. So dude's not even like this for real, but it costed him because his girl doesn't want anything to do with him. Part of his family doesn't want to do anything to do with him. And it's all because of a desperate rebrand, but also the money, but pretty sure Kick banned him as well. So I'm not sure. And he's facing 56 years in prison. So I'm not really sure how this is going to benefit the guy. He should have just stayed. He should have just stayed getting pegged on the internet, to be honest. It's gotten so bad to the point where people like Nick Fuentes don't even support his actions. You know that you're a waste of space on this planet when you have people like Nick Fuentes saying, "Hey, bro, you're going too far with all this, hating on the black people stuff." Like, you got to reevaluate a bunch of things if you got Nick Fuentes criticizing you for going hard on black people. And the Hodge twins. The Hodge twins, who are the ultimate grifters. Oh man, it was so sad to see. I used to watch them back when they all kinds. And they were, reading fan mail and letters of advice from their viewers asking for advice. Just to see how far the Hodge twins have fallen is so sad. The bottom dollar, man, it just they alienated their entire original fan base, and it's unfortunate, but that's their business. But man, I used to enjoy their food, like their little mukbangs in their cars, and that side of them is clearly dead. It's more about bashing black people in almost every single video that they get the chance. And forgetting and playing and pretending to forget that they're black. But even they remember they're black when it comes to Chud the Builder. They say, "Hey, yeah, he's doing something wrong here." Interesting. And Nick Fuentes is automatically on black people's side too. Yeah, he just completely forgot what made him famous, and that's saying outrageous things towards African Americans. But yeah, just people just kind of forget their origins and everything. And then you had Alex Rosen talking about N-word this, N-word that on his Twitter for about the entirety of his career on YouTube. And Jidion is like, well, I mean, I know he said that, but I still want to work with the guy. And now it's just supposed to be a shocker that Alex Rosen supports racism. It's just a shocker. Like, we never really knew this before, but yet his past was exposed 5 years ago after he caught the Cupcake Man. So I don't know, man. Like, this is none of this feels genuine. I'm not even gonna lie, because Jidion's whole career, he blew up because he was a more mild version of Jack Doherty, and then he switched to Christianity, and then just went to predicate catching. But I mean, we can't just forget the past here. So yeah, all this feels weird. All this feels kind of, just he already knew what Alex Rosen, what type of character he had, and he still chose to. So I'm not really sure how what sympathy we're supposed to feel or anything like that. But yeah, that's my thoughts on it. So yep.